Okay, this is Tammy. I'm back. We're going to finish doing this freeform layer. So where we left off, we had the freeform layer selected and we had painted some white. And so what we're going to do is click off of it and go to our layers, and you can see what we just painted, and we're going to move it behind the stamp. Okay, so now we're going to actually add one more freeform layer. And so we're going to again select Freeform under the Design Center, add a brush layer, click off, and then click on so that you can move it and put it over the flower. Then double click on it. And this time we are going to pick the brush. We're going to change the color. We're going to select Rich Raspberry first. And we want a brush that's, I would say, about 10. And what I want to do is go along all these dark parts, and I'm just going to kind of do little dots. And I'm not going to fill it all in, but you can see I'm just randomly going along here and doing dots where the dark parts of the stamp is. And I'm just going to continue doing that. Let me pause it so it's not too long here. Okay, so here's what it looks like when I'm finished coloring. This is all the rich raspberry. So I'm going to click off, and again, before I move it back, I'm actually going to change the opacity on this down just a little bit. Actually, let me make sure it's selected. I think I was changing the opacity on something else. Okay, so well, maybe that's a little bit too much. We'll put it at 80. Okay, then we're going to put it in front of the white layer like that. And then I'm going to add one more brush layer. Click off, click on, kind of make it a little bit smaller, put it on top, and double click to add the paint. And we're going to come over here to the brush, and we're going to change the color this time to pale plum. And I'm just going to go through and fill in. This is going to go behind the purple layer, so you don't have to be that careful, but I'm just going to go through and try to fill in all the spots that I didn't fill in before. So, okay, so again, I'm going to pause for a second while I finish. Okay, you can see that I've tried to fill in a lot, and at some point I'm going to have to actually make my brush a little bit smaller to get some of the tips here. I'm not being totally careful about staying in the lines. I actually think it looks a little better if you're not totally perfect on this. So, you know, just randomly fill these in, and you'd be surprised how good it's going to end up looking. Okay, so when we're finished, we're going to take that pink layer and we're going to put it behind the purple one. And look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now let's move on to the butterflies. The butterflies is the other kind of more difficult part of this particular page. Under extras, we're going to open that, and we are going to add, I think it's up here, butterfly number 1. Okay, so, oops, I didn't mean to do that. What I want to do is add a color for the butterfly. It's going to go underneath the stamp that's over here. Now you can see on the stamp there's actually a little center, and if we go ahead and put the stamp on top of this punch, it really doesn't fit because of the fact that there's this little center thing here. So what I'm going to do is first, for the punch, I am going to color fill it with more mustard, which is this color right here. And I am going to crop it. I'm going to do half of this butterfly first, like this. And then I'm going to go back to my punches and I am going to select in the basics. Let's see, it was an oval shape. It's right here. And I'm going to rotate that a little bit and make it smaller and squish it in a little bit. Maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, about right there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this half and I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to come over here to mirror and kind of try to line it up. Color fill this little oval. I'm afraid now that I can't get to my oval, so I'm going to have to go over here to my layers and put that oval on the top so that I can click on it. I forgot to color it. Okay, and when that comes up, we're going to make that turn more mustard as well. Okay, now once we get all of these kind of situated just right, I am going to click on